From Earth, the night sky seems calm. Stars twinkle, galaxies shimmer faintly through telescopes, and space feels like a place of quiet permanence. But beyond what the eye can see, beyond the veil of starlight, the universe is teeming with violent transformations, unimaginable energies, and cycles of growth and destruction on scales so vast we can barely comprehend them. At the center of many of these transformations lies an entity that is, by its very nature, paradoxical. A black hole, an object defined not by what it is, but by what it removes: light, information, causality itself. A region of space where gravity overwhelms all other forces, where time and space collapse inward, and nothing, not even light, can escape. But strangely, black holes are often most visible when they are most active. They shine not by emitting their own light, but by tearing it from the matter that spirals into their abyss. And when that light reaches us across the universe, from the edge of darkness itself, we call it a quasar. Quasars were once mistaken for stars, bright points of light in distant galaxies. But over time, as telescopes improved and spectra were analyzed, astronomers realized they were witnessing something entirely different. Quasars weren't stars, they were black holes in action. At the heart of a quasar lies a supermassive black hole, one with millions to billions of times the mass of our Sun. Surrounding it is a furnace of radiation, the accretion disk, a chaotic maelstrom of gas and dust spiraling inward, heating up through friction, pressure, and magnetic turbulence. As this matter accelerates, it emits torrents of energy, not just light, but X-rays, ultraviolet rays, radio waves, and powerful plasma jets launched at near-light speeds. These outflows are not just background noise. They interact. They shape their environment. They fight with the galaxy around them. This interaction, this ability of quasars to change the galaxies that host them, is at the heart of the quasar feedback loop. It's a feedback system, yes, but not like a thermostat in a room. This is feedback on a galactic scale. A system where a singularity, infinitely small and dense, can influence a structure stretching across hundreds of thousands of light years. How does this happen? The answer lies in gas. Galaxies are built from it. Gas forms the stars. Gas gathers in clouds and clusters. Gas is the engine of galactic evolution, but it's also what fuels the black hole. When the black hole draws in too much gas, it lights up as a quasar. That quasar, in turn, releases energy so violently that it heats, scatters, and ejects the very gas it feeds on. Star formation drops. The black hole starves. The light dims. But galaxies don't remain static. Gravity always pulls. Gas eventually cools, drifts inward again. The cycle starts anew. That's the loop. That's the system. That's the cosmic balance. But there's more than just mechanics here. There's design, or at least the appearance of it. You see, galaxies that grow too fast, that form too many stars, begin to collapse under their own weight. Without regulation, they become unstable, short-lived, incapable of sustaining the long, steady evolution that gives rise to planets, chemistry, and perhaps life. It turns out that quasar feedback may be one of the mechanisms that keeps the universe in check. An invisible hand, pruning galaxies before they become too chaotic, too massive, or too inefficient. In simulations, this becomes clear. Remove feedback from the models, and galaxies balloon in mass, forming stars too quickly and in the wrong places. Add feedback, especially quasar feedback, and the systems begin to look familiar. They start to resemble the real universe. Structured, balanced, evolving. It's as if the black hole, once thought to be the destroyer, is in fact a caretaker. a regulator of growth, a voice of restraint. But this raises profound questions. How can something so small, a black hole, occupying no physical space as we understand it, exert such massive influence? How exactly does energy travel from the event horizon to the edges of a galaxy? Is it through radiation pressure, kinetic winds, jets of magnetized plasma, or is there still an unknown mechanism at work? And more curiously, why do some galaxies recover from feedback, reigniting with new stars, while others fade into silence, never forming stars again? Why do some quasars flicker briefly, while others blaze for hundreds of millions of years? What makes a quasar powerful enough to shut down its entire host galaxy? Is there a hidden variable? A deeper order? Are quasars not just byproducts of evolution, but agents of destiny? We don't yet know, but the search for answers is underway. Across the electromagnetic spectrum and across the sky, astronomers are using instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope, which can peer into the early universe, capturing the faint glows of the first quasars. They're using ALMA to study the cold gas left behind, the fuel for future stars. They're using Chandra to examine high-energy emissions that reveal outflows and shocks. They're creating cosmic simulations that map the evolution of galaxies over billions of years, all while watching how feedback alters their fate. It is not just a question of astronomy. It is a question of structure, complexity, and emergence. It is a question of how something so small can leave fingerprints across the sky. And perhaps, most humbling of all, we see signs of this feedback right here, in our own galaxy. The Milky Way's center harbors a supermassive black hole, Sagittarius A star. Though dormant now, evidence suggests it once flared up. Massive gamma-ray bubbles, the Fermi bubbles, rise above and below the galactic plane like ghosts of a forgotten outburst. Traces of X-rays, disturbed molecular clouds, and unusual gas motions suggest a galactic past shaped by quasar-like activity. Was the Milky Way once a quasar? Did its central black hole once regulate the flow of gas and stars throughout our galactic home? Could the solar system and Earth itself be products of a quiet period in a feedback loop? Could life itself be conditional on the silence that follows cosmic violence? This is the beauty of the quasar feedback loop. It is not a tale of chaos, but of control, not of destruction, but of shaping. It challenges our assumptions that black holes are only takers, that galaxies evolve in isolation, that the universe is random. Instead, it offers a different view, that the universe is full of self-regulating systems, feedback processes, cosmic checks and balances, that even in the vastness of space, nothing evolves alone. Everything reacts, everything adjusts, and in that delicate dance between light and darkness, between growth and limitation, we find the pattern of galaxies and perhaps the origins of structure itself. In the end, the quasar feedback loop is more than a scientific mechanism. It is a metaphor for how the universe builds complexity through balance. It is a story of how light born from a singularity can regulate the birth of stars and the unfolding of galaxies. And so, when you look into the sky and see a distant galaxy, silent, glowing faintly, remember this. Somewhere, long ago, its heart may have ignited like a cosmic furnace. It may have spoken in radiation, in jets and winds, in heat and light, whispering across the void, shaping not just stars, but the very conditions for life. The mystery is far from solved, but step by step, we are decoding the quiet voices of the cosmos, one feedback loop at a time.